Transformations. This is a digital lesson, and it covers the transformations of reflection, dilation, translation, and rotation around the origin. And this is the St. Patrick's Day version. So it starts giving a definition of what the word transformation means and what it means in mathematics. They're given a definition of the four different transformations you're going to see in this lesson. Students can refer back to slide 3 if they need a definition. And they're going to start on slide 4. So this is a lot of fun for the students. They're going to use the fill color feature of Google Slides in order to show their transformations. So the first one is reflection. And this one they're going to reflect across the y-axis. And it needs to show as a mirror image. So to do this, students click and hold in any of the squares they want to color in. And then they're going to shade what they want to color. So then they come up here to the fill color bucket here, and they can choose any color they like. And they just continue filling in rectangle shapes until they have this figure as a mirror image. The next one is a T shape. This one they're going to reflect also across the y-axis. And again, they click and hold in the squares they want to color in. Choose their color. And then here we have a reflection across the y-axis. Now the next one's the same shape, but this time they're going to reflect across the x-axis, so it's going to look a little bit different. And they want to make sure it's a mirror image. Now the next one they're going to be reflecting across a line that's not one of the axes. So it's going to be the line x equals 1. So it needs to be equal distance from the line on the other side as a mirror image. This one they're going to reflect across the line y equals -1. And then they're shown what to do if part of their figure is over the line that they're reflecting across. So I put 2 points here so the students can look at this as like a hinge. So if they just flip this straight up, this is what it's going to look like. And then they're going to do that on the next slide. Then we move into translation. So translation is moving a figure up, down, left, or right without changing its orientation. So the first one's pretty simple. They're just going to count this one moving 6 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, fill it in with a color. The next one's a little bit different shape. This one, they're going to move it twice. So they're going to move 4 units to the left and then 2 units down. So it's going to look something like this. And the kids can have fun with it and make any color they want. Now all of these have the teacher slides included, completed so the teacher can easily check. Now this one moving up, let's see, 6 units to the right and then 4 units up. And then another one. Then we get into rotation. Now all of these are rotated around the origin. So they're given a formula here, -yx. And they're going to take each of these points, the coordinates of each point, and they're going to put them into this formula so they get their new point. So this is the formula they use for rotating counterclockwise 90 degrees. And that would put it in quadrant 3. So for example, this first point would be -1, 2. If I put it in the formula, it'll be -2, -1. And they just click and hold on these points and then they can move them into place. -1, 4 is now going to be -4, -1. And a -3, 2 will now be -2, -3. And then they've got these movable lines so they can move those to complete their triangle. The next one, they're going to be moving this one clockwise, 90 degrees. Well, that will also put it in quadrant 3, and this time using this formula. And then they're going to be rotating 180 degrees, which would place it in quadrant 4. So it's going to be opposite. And the formula for that is also given. On the final rotation slide, you're going to have all 3 rotations around the origin. So when it's completed, you'll see all 4. And you have all the points and all the lines for the student to make the different triangles. And all of the formulas are also on here. They're going to move into dilation. So dilation, the first one, they're going to dilate this figure by a scale factor of 2. So they're going to take the coordinates of each point and multiply those coordinates by the scale factor of 2. And they'll get their new points. They just click and hold, place their new points, and then complete the square. The next one, they're going to do the same thing. It's a triangle. This time it's a scale factor of 3, so they need to take the coordinates of each point and multiply by 3. And then this is what happens when you have a scale factor that's a fraction less than 1. So in this case, the scale factor of 1/2, that means they're going to multiply each of the coordinates by 1/2 or divide by 2. And they'll have a smaller figure. Now the last transformation, they've got 2 different transformations on the same slide. So this one, they're going to translate 5 units to the left and then reflect over the x-axis. The final slide is just a review of all of the vocabulary, and they're going to click and hold on each one of these and move them into the correct place in the sentence frames. So that is a digital lesson of transformations, the St. Patrick's Day version.